Well. Top of the morning, top of the afternoon. Welcome to our all recovery meeting. My name is Craig. I'm one of your recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center. And once again, we're glad to be here with you. I'll have to let Mike introduce himself.
Hey, good day. My name is Mike, one of your grateful recovery coaches and counselors. I'd like to announce that we are doing all recovery meeting. Thank you for tuning in for us at 1 p.m. We are here every Thursday. So I'm glad that you guys are here. Don't forget about our recoveries on wheels that we have every month. And with the paper, I'm going to put it on the screen, actually. I'll put it up here for you guys so you can be able to check it out. I'll put it up in here in English and Espanol. So you'll be able to see the dates that we have for our recovery on wheels every week. And look out for that. I'll put it back up here in English and in Spanish. Each week we have a particular location that we're going to be at. And let's see, any more announcements over here? I don't see any more over there.
Well, that's about covered, I think.
Don't
we have our recovery month? Remember, also, this is September, which is our recovery month for those who are in recovery. I am also in recovery, and so we wear. Sometimes we wear purple, and sometimes we wear whatever we feel like wearing. However, we want to remember those who are still struggling with substance use disorder, and we just want to let them know that we're here in support of that. And we have we're doing a walk, not virtually, we're actually doing walks.
Every Friday, y'all can come over here at 11 o'clock and do some of the walking with us. We do recovery walks. We're doing a virtual walk and steps to honor those who are struggling with substance use disorder. So you're welcome to always join us every Friday at 11 a.m. at 70 West 72 North Pearl Street. I'm thinking about the first step. 72 North Pearl Street. You can always join us there. And whatever announcements we got, any more other announcements? Today we're going to go over 7 keys of lifestyle, 7 key lifestyles, key life skills for people in recovery. 7 key life skills for people who are in recovery. You can check that out. We're going to have, if you would like to follow along with us, it'll be in the link in the description tab on this particular broadcast. You can get that and you'll be able to follow us along. It came from the wavelengths.com. So you can be able to get that same teaching that we're doing. And they provide different avenues or different things, if you will, that can assist you in your recovery process. And I think you can get a lot more things from their website. I will go over there and check it out. It's Wave, W-A-V-E, wavelengths.com with the S. All right. So with that being said, don't forget Coffee and Conversation is every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Coffee and Conversation will be every Tuesday at 10 a.m. And this particular meeting is our all recovery meeting that we do at 1 p.m. every Thursday. And we do a list of things, not just, we talk about the substance issue, but we do a list of things because we deal with the holistics of an individual, the wellness, the complete individual, mind, body, and soul. So today we're going to talk about some key things that deal with life skills. Before we get into the 7 life skills, let us builds up some type of foundation, if you will. So we're going to read some things right here, and let's see what we got. It says, recovering from a substance use disorder is a long journey. Woo-hoo-wee. Recovering from a substance use disorder is a long journey that requires significant courage and life skills. It's going to take you to develop some life skills. And this is the thing that I also learned about my own personal life of 22 years of struggling with a substance use disorder, is some of the skills that I had when I was actively using weren't bad skills. I just was using them or wasn't using them right. So you might have the life skills or the areas that we might discuss You might know what they are. You might have them in your life. We're not saying that you don't have them. We're just saying that we want to try to teach you how to use them and encourage you to apply them to your life now. It says only 10% of people that have a substance use disorder will take the time to seek treatment for these issues. If you're reading this, congratulations, you already made the first steps. Entering treatment is one of the beginning of your new life in recovery, but it can be challenging if you're not sure what life skills will help you remain sober. Everybody needs to develop some type of life skills / coping skills to help them in their process to remain sober. Me, my personal strategy was to develop a spiritual foundation. Once that was my life skills right there. Once I developed my spiritual foundation, that spiritual foundation was the thing that I stood on to remain sober. That was it. That was it right there. We want to provide you with the comprehensive guide about certain life skills that aren't necessarily going to make recovery a cakewalk, but it will help you during times of struggle. Now, the things we're going to discuss, we're not saying it's going to be a cakewalk or make your recovery process a cakewalk, but it will help you during the times of you facing different struggles in your recovery walk. All right, so essentials to recovery. You want that, Mr. Dingle?
I'll give it a try. Essentials to recovery. Before you can start thinking about the life skills that will aid in your sobriety, you got to adopt a lifestyle that supports people to be successful in their sobriety. If you're immersing yourself back into the same environment, people, places, and things where your substance use disorder began, the likelihood of relapse increases.
Wow.
And so one of the things Mike touched on when he was talking about, you have to be able to identify what are the things that can trip you up. And so for me, I had to learn people, places, and things, trigger cravings and urges. And so once I was able to identify those things that kept tripping me up, I became better in my recovery. All right. The environment or community that you choose to surround yourself with will be crucial in your sobriety journey. These are the people you turn to when you need to talk or find yourself having a moment of weakness. Accountability part.
Accountability.
Mike always talks about.
You gotta have accountability part.
Tell on it.
Tell on it. But the thing you just said there, right there, buddy, it says let me pull over, pause and park for a moment. It says the environment or the community that you choose to surround yourself with will be crucial in your sobriety journey. So there are a lot of individuals who are going to treatment or they get the help that they need initially, but however, they surround themselves around individuals who is not trying to do the same thing that they're trying to do, which is be successful in their recovery walk. So the environment and your community that you surround yourself around is very crucial. It's critical. It's a critical decision that you make. That's a life skill that you need to develop or to adapt immediately. Not just when you, when you go into a treatment facility, if your environment and that community inside that treatment facility is the individuals who want to break the rules, who want to get over, who want to try to do that, that's when you develop your environment. If you don't have to tell on them everything rule they breaking in the program, but you want to adapt to an environment that people are trying to do the things that you're trying to do. So in that environment, it's very important that you adapt to that inside a facility, because when you come out, you're going to have the exact same thing. So I started when I was in programs, I would surround myself with the individuals who was focused like I was. If they wasn't focused like me, I didn't judge them. I didn't talk about them. I just simply said, listen, man, I don't need you in this group. We don't need nobody in this group who's trying to think, how can we smuggle drugs in the program? This group is not that group. So you have to do that as well. That's very important. It's critical, it says.
Good point. Good point, Mike. Next, you want to think about your purpose.
My thing.
That's Mike's word. That's one of his favorite words, purpose.
I love purpose.
Purpose-driven life.
Yeah.
All right. Having a purpose or passion will help you wake up each day with the motivation to continue achieving and learning more about how your purpose can work to your advantage now that you can fully appreciate all of its benefits.
Woo! I appreciate the benefits.
Mike just talked about that. What is your purpose? Not only within the program, but when you lead the program. So stay focused and learn your purpose. Also have a passion. Another central factor in recovery is the place that you call home. Having a stable place to lay your head at night reduces anxiety or frustration, leading to a relapse. In social studies, they use what they call the hierarchy of needs. And that is so essential that someone have the essentials of life, especially accommodation, which is housing. Adequate housing
is important.
So that, here at Capital Recovery Center, we help people with sober living housing assistance once they leave treatment.
Yeah.
We place them in these sober living environment where they have what they call continuum care. They're surrounded by those who attend meetings, those who are striving and working on themselves and working on independent living. And so that is so essential to life. If you are still in treatment and understand that your home environment will not be good for you to return to, speak with your counselor or a recovery coach. That's right. They can help you find sober living accommodation. I just made mention of that. Until you're able to get back on your feet and support yourself. Hey, man, this is some good stuff we found, man.
Yeah, man.
Keep up the good work, man. We might keep you around. All right.
If you're still in treatment, understand your home environment will not be good for you to return. Remember, again, I'm reading something, but I'm telling you something that I actually had to do. When I came home from facility in in 2010, the environment I was going home to was not a good environment for me in order for me to succeed in my recovery process. So I told my wife that we needed to relocate. She said, why we got to relocate? I said, because if I sit in this window, I can see the house where I buy my drugs from. First of all, I'm trying to succeed. So I need to relocate. Now, it seems like that's a hard thing to do, but it really not because of what he read last. He says something about up here. It will be your advantage now that you can fully appreciate all the benefits. So when you relocate or the environment is not good for you, you relocating is putting yourself in a situation where you can receive all the real benefits of a sober lifestyle. So that's very important. Think about relocating if your environment is not right. Getting into a sober living house, then getting a job, saving your money, finding your own apartment. That's all the process. And we read that up here in the beginning where we talked about it's going to be. It says recovering from a substance use disorder is a long journey.
Not a cakewalk.
Not a cakewalk. This is a long journey that you're on, but we are here to support you as recovery coaches and counselors and mentors and spiritual advisors, sponsors, everybody that you have. We are here to assist you the best way we can. But the most important person about this whole thing is you and your mindset.
And remember, one step at a time.
One step at a time.
All right. Just as you put your pants on, one leg at a time. Take it one step at a time. Lastly, maintain your health by eating well and participating in daily exercise. Maintaining your health also includes your mental health. I did a PowerPoint recently on self-care. Self-care is so important. So not only you work on your substance use disorder, but you got to work on your physical, your mental. Mike talked about a holistic approach. And so let's move forward. 50% of people with substance use disorder find that they also have underlying mental health issues that may contribute to the severity of their substance use disorder. All right.
Where we at?
So where we at? We are at what are life skills? It's a good question. What are life skills?
Good.
If someone would like to read that? We can continue, or I can go on.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, before you can begin developing and learning life skills, you've got to know what they are. Life skills are tools you need to help you thrive in your everyday life. This is so good because it's not just simply talking about somebody who has a substance use disorder. This is everybody. Everybody needs to develop in the area of having some life skills. So before you begin developing and learning life skills, you got to know what are they? What are life skills? Without knowing any life skills daily, navigation can be challenging and in this case can set you up for failure as someone in recovery. Life skills aren't something that comes natural to people. I know you think it might just happen like that. It takes practice. You have to do it or repeat it. You have to do it over a period of time. So you got to understand it takes time. If something that you learn almost like a habit, for example, when you were younger, you watched your mother wash dishes. As you grew into an adult, you knew how to do it because watching your mother taught you how to do the dishes as well. There are two ways that you can learn life skills. The first is through education, such as watching videos. I actually learned that way. Or watching someone else perform the task in front of you. I learned that way too. Hands-on. If you do something and show me, I pay attention to details and I can learn that way. However, I can also watch a video and learn how to do something as well. I built the gym in my basement simply by watching YouTube video. Yeah, well, the measurements might have been off a bit, but I still got those walls up for me just watching the video. So everybody, life skills you can learn in two ways. The other way to learn the life skills is practicing them. Remember, I just said that. You got to do it over repetition. Practice, 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 practice. Once you've been shown how to do it, the next step is to begin practicing the life skills to ensure that you've got a good grasp on what you're doing. That's something that one of my mentors taught me. He says, if you he taught me how to at night meditate on a Bible verse before he go to sleep. And while he's sleeping, instead of thinking about all the stressful things, the thing that's on your mind last will repeat in your mind. When I wake up, it's so I can say it fluently because all night long it was in my mind. And I was taught that 12 years ago, and I still do it to this day. Literally, I still do it. And that was something that somebody taught me that I had to practice doing, and then it came to fruition in my life. While learning these life skills, the only way to succeed is to put 100% effort. Contribution, I'm going to teach about that tonight. Contribution versus commitment. A lot of times people are making contributions when in all honesty, you have to make a commitment. You have to put 100% effort into it. If you do things halfway, you're not going to get the benefit out of it that you're looking for. And that's what are life skills.
Let's put forward, baby.
100%. You got to put 100% into it.
All right. Let's talk about number one, problem-solving skills.
All right.
Problem-solving skills are needed in nearly every aspect of your personal life as well as your professional life. When we say problem-solving skills, several things aid in this life skill. You got to think beyond what you see and tap into your critical thinking skills. Wow. These type of skills allow you to dissect an issue and get to the root of the problem. Don't skim across it. Yeah. Don't brush it off. Yeah. Go to the root of it. Cool. And a lot of times that take for us to sit back and just do a self-analysis of any given situation, whether it's fleeting thoughts using or just dealing with life issues as a whole. How I'm going to make ends meet from day to day, how I'm going to pay my bills. And so we know that one of the life skills that we have developed is to, if you go to sleep early, you wake up early, you go to work.
That's right.
All right. And you'll keep your job. So that's the word to the wise. Once you're able to identify a problem, you can then begin taking the necessary steps to create a solution to the problem.
Wow. When
you use your critical thinking skills, use your mind, you're able to pinpoint a future issue and find ways to avoid the issue. Now, if you run across an issue, we as recovery coaches here, we help you get over a lot of barriers and we help you navigate. Yeah. We don't know all the answers. You may teach us some things. Absolutely. But whatever we do know that we can assist those out there along the journey, we will.
He says, once you are able to identify a problem, yesterday we spoke on not yesterday, Tuesday we were talking about honesty, where you have to be honest with your circle of your recovery circle network. Once you're able to identify a problem, in order for you to identify a problem, you have to be honest not only with us, but you have to be honest with yourself to identify a problem. Once you identify it, now you can find a solution. One of the questions I asked a lot of individuals is, what do you believe is your most challenging area in your life? And the reason why I asked them what's the most challenging area is because I need them to identify that area. Once we identify that area as being the most challenging, now we can find a solution for that particular area. Mm-hmm. But in order to find a solution, you have to be able to identify the problem. In order for you to identify the problem, you're going to have to be honest, not with me, but you're going to have to be honest with yourself.
Hey, you know what, Mike? I'm glad you brought that up. During my supervision yesterday, the supervisor she said, is there any issues, concerns that you would like to talk about here at the Capital Recovery? I said, there's an issue of a gentleman who just relapsed. And she said, well, why did he relapse? I said, well, first time he had a family issue and it caused him to relapse. He says, I said, but I didn't really get into depth. She says, well, a lot of times people have situational relapse. Mm. And just like you just made mention, why are you ask the question, why? Why? Be honest with me.
Yeah, what's the most challenging?
Then you can get down to the root of the problem.
Yeah, if you think about it, the seed inside of an apple represents what we're trying to get out of us. That represents. But everybody knows this, but they probably don't associate it with life. In order to get to the seed, before you get to the seed, you gotta break through the core. Mm-hmm. When you break through the core, you get to the seed. Mm-hmm. But that's just like in recovery. Breaking through the core is getting down to the root of the problem you have. Well, what's your? I know what drug you use, but why are you using it?
Core belief.
Core belief. What's the view? I know what the test result says, but why are you doing something that you know that could possibly kill you?
Wow. Yes, right. All right. So let's move on a little bit. Let's go deeper. Without problem-solving skills, you might only see one way to address an issue versus being open-minded and able to identify the different avenues you've got. For example, if you don't have a good paying job, you might become frustrated trying to figure out how to afford housing. Talking about that earlier.
Barrier.
Right, barriers. Because you don't have the proper funds, you might think your only option is to choose living accommodation in an area that serves as a trigger for your substance use disorder.
And we also provide funding for you. So if that's a barrier for you and you tuned in and you want to go to sober living funding, or you have a house and you need help with your first month rent or security, either or, and you have electric bill, gas bill, we're able to help you with proper funding so you don't go to an area or resort to situations that would be triggered to you, like borrowing money from a person that might be something that you do, and then you get into a fight over money that was borrowed. Instead of doing that, look for services that people provide that can assist you with meeting the needs that you have.
Oh man, you just read the sentence I'm gonna read without even me reading it. But I'm gonna read it anyway. It says, but when you use your critical thinking skills, you realize that your treatment facility has access to resources. Watch me now. Watch this. That you can use to find housing that will provide you the support you need during this time. Wow, man, you good, man. That's the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, definitely ain't me. I definitely got some medals. I ain't gonna step on his toes. I learned better than that. One day I was self-confident, too cocky actually, and I went to go do something, and my brain went blank while I was on the stage. I almost cried. I totally didn't know what to do. I was gone. But anyway, Number two. Let's do number two, and we'll wrap it up with this, and we'll come back. Somebody keep tabs on this. What's next Thursday's date? Let me see. 16th?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, the 16th.
I will write it right there. All right. We're going to finish this up next Thursday.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna do number two?
Yeah, let's knock that out. You want that, Miss Karen?
Yes. You'd be surprised to know that you're not the only adult that has issues communicating effectively with others. It's a common problem that many people find themselves dealing with. As you continue to get older, you will need to constantly work on your communication skills because not everyone you encounter communicates the same way you do. One of the most overlooked aspects of communication is the ability to be a good listener.
Woo! That's good.
That's a very good.
That's a good one. You be able to listen and what they call
Active listening.
yeah, and that's one of the tactics for motivational interviewing. You replay back,
Reinterpret.
come on, brother. You reinterpret what you
Do you mean
listen.
what you said? You
Yeah.
mean to say?
Yeah, communication skills is a very trait that one of the most overlooked aspects of communication is the ability to be a good listener. Or initially, early in my marriage career, if it's a career, whatever. Early in my marriage, I will be listening, waiting for the opportunity to respond with what I already had on my mind. I wasn't listening to what she was saying. I was listening, waiting for her to take a breather so I can interject what I already had in my mind. And I didn't understand that I was doing that until later on. I realized when she would repeat or say things that wasn't making any sense. And I said, yo, they don't even make, she says, you're listening. I said, that's a good idea. She got me because she started saying stuff that had totally nothing to do with what we were talking about. And I said, we're not talking about kids. She was paying and seeing if I was listening. I was good. I said, that's pretty good.
Good point, Mike.
Communication. Let's go. It says often people, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Often people are formulating their responses while someone's talking without listening to what
Get it
they're
again, Mike.
saying.
Yo, I didn't see that.
The Holy Spirit must.
Yo,
Get some of that Holy Spirit.
yo, I didn't know that. Yo, you see, I ain't lying. I'm telling you.
Learn to be an active listener, and it will save you from several situations where miscommunication is at fault.
Yeah, good stuff.
As someone in recovery, part of communication means letting people around you know when you're going through a hard time. This time of vulnerability could be one where you're questioning yourself or you've been triggered by something.
That's the part right there. I want to interject, pull over, pause, and park. It says communicating means letting people around you know when you're going through a hard time. That means tell on it. If you tell on it, I'm telling you, this is a proven strategy. Every time I had a bad thought that I know that I did not want to carry out that thought, I told somebody, no matter how it made me feel or how it made me look with having that thought, because thoughts can get planted into you from all types of sources, right? But once you tell on it, you take the power from the thought and put it back into your possession. So communicating to people and letting them know when you're having a hard time is very important. So you need to develop your communicating skills during these life skills trainings. All right.
People can only offer you the help you need if you let them know what you're struggling. If you let them know that you're struggling. Another key aspect of communication is being assertive with the decisions that you make in your life. Not everyone is going to offer the support you need, and some might even express how you've changed and how they don't like it. In situations like this, you need to ensure that you're assertive with your words and decisions, letting them know that your recovery is the most important thing in your life and you're not willing to jeopardize it for anything or anyone.
Nice. Most important.
Wow. And that means a lot because a lot of times people saying, oh, you just being selfish. You're thinking of yourself. You're being self-centered. And so, at times you have to be stingy. I want to use the word stingy. Let's use it. I'm going to just use that because a lot of times when it comes to recovery, we have to pay a a lot closer attention to what things may trigger us or affect our lifestyle. And so, yes, at times we will have to say, no, I can't go to a certain function because I know that that environment may trigger me or that may cause me to respond inappropriately. So, yes.
So it's awesome that you take initiative and let people know I'm not willing to jeopardize my personal recovery to appease. You might want to invite me to an event. My wife and I will go to certain events before I was in walking a clean path of recovery. And after that, we was like, man, we can't go there no more. And the reason why we didn't go there because it will trigger something. And it's not worth me triggering something. Or if you say it's sleeping tiger, waking up that sleeping tiger. I ain't waking that sleeping tiger. That sleeping tiger gonna get water or some juice. And so we say, man, you can have a sip of wine. You're gonna get some. If you don't like this juice, you in trouble. I ain't waking that tiger. That tiger go up there.
He's bigger than he was before.
Yeah. So we want you to understand today we was talking about life skills. We're going to finish up. We're going to finish up the part 3. Part 3 is creative thinking skills, and we'll do all that next Thursday, and then we'll do a couple more. We just gave you a little bit of life skills, 7 key. We're talking about 7 key life skills for people in recovery. So we'll get back to those other ones. Don't forget about Recovery on Wheels next week. And don't also forget about our walk on Friday.
And also, if y'all would like to visit our Spotlight people,
Spotlight Recovery, look at Capital Recovery Center's page on Facebook. You can see the Spotlight Recovery. This month, Spotlight Recovery is our boss, Miss Melissa.
Oh,
Niles.
yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Wow.
I think she got like 20-something years.
Yeah.
And check out the Spotlight Recovery. If you want to be one of the people that we spotlight, just follow the link on the Capital Recovery page, and we'll hook you up and make you one of the Spotlight Recoveries for one of the months coming in 2022. Wow, did we just miss a year? But anyway, yeah, I can't believe I said 2022.
Slow down, Mike.
All right, man. We'll see you later, guys.